Alright everybody, this is going to be a how-to tutorial video on how to install LSPDFR into your main game directory. Alright guys, let's get with it. First thing I want you guys to do is to locate your main game directory. This is for first time installers as well as people that are having issues obviously with your game and you're trying to get a fresh clean copy into your game. So we're going to show you through the file explorer. We're not going to show you through Steam. It's just so much easier just going through your main files. So wrong file guys, sorry about that. What you're going to want to do guys is locate wherever you have your copy installed. So majority of people probably have it in their local disk C. It would be under program files times 86. You would go down to Steam and then you would go down to Steam apps under common and you would find your Grand Theft Auto right there. It wouldn't say clean copy or anything like that. It would just say Grand Theft Auto 5. And that's what you would look for. Now mine is in a different direction in a different folder, so I'm going to show you that's exactly what it's going to look like. This is where I have mine. This is for the purposes of this video and future installs, things of that nature. I have more storage on my E drive, being that it's an external drive, than I do on my C drive. I could have it on my C drive, but then I could only just have the one copy plus the backup copy, and it kind of defeats the purpose for this video and future tutorial videos on this whole segment. So this is my main game copy right here. It's LSPDFR. I've labeled it that so that way I know which one that is mine. The one that you're going to want to manipulate or mess with is going to say Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, what I want you to do when you have your main copy that just says Grand Theft Auto 5, okay? It's going to look like this. There's not going to be a mods folder or anything like that inside of it. It's just going to be like that. That is your base game of Grand Theft Auto 5 right there, guys. What you're going to want to do, first things first, is I want you to go to your copy, or of your copy of Grand Theft Auto, and right click and go down to where it says copy, guys, and then down right here in this section right here, guys, just right click again, and where it says paste, you would go ahead and paste it. It takes roughly about 20 to 30 minutes, guys, so please just follow these steps, guys. This is going to help get you going with Grand Theft Auto 5, whether you're redoing an install or you're installing for the first time. Trust me, I've been doing this for a while. This is my first how-to tutorial video, but I've been doing this right here for a long time now. Well, not as long as some other people, but I mean long enough that I now know what I'm doing well enough to be able to walk you guys through these steps. Alright guys, so once you've done your backup copy, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up your main game directory. Now over here in this little section right here, we're going to call this little section the buffer zone, or our little free space, our buffer zone, okay? Thanks to Jeffrey Gamer on that one. Actually, what you're going to want to do guys is you're going to want to right click in that space and then go down to where it says create a new folder, and then basically guys what you're going to do is you're going to label it mods, all lowercase letters, MODS, mods. Okay, now once you have that done guys, what you're going to want to do, and this is going to take an additional bit of time to get done, I want to say depending on if it's on an SSD or if it's on an HDD or a hard disk drive, the times may vary, but what you're going to do guys is you're going to go and you're going to right click on where it says update. You're going to go down to where it says copy. After you click copy guys, you're going to go into your mods, just like that, same thing. You're going to right click and then you would go down to paste. So what that's going to do guys is that's going to copy the entire update folder, and it's going to put your entire update folder inside of our mods folder. This is going to be used later on. I'm not going to show that part in this first video. We're just going to show how to basically get LSPDFR in the game and your game up and running. Okay guys, So once that portion is done, the next thing I want you to do, you can go ahead and keep this window up if you want, but we're gonna go ahead and go down into our sorry, brain fart there. We're gonna go down into our search engine, whichever you use. If you're using Bing, I use Google Chrome, so whatever you use. And then the first thing I want you guys to do, if you don't already have anything to unpack your files, because these files need to be unpacked in order for you to be able to use them, is go into your little search bar and then type in WinRAR. Win, just as you know, like you would win a game, and then RAR, R-A-R. So from there, guys, you would go, I think it's this one. No, not that one. There's a couple of these that you would have to go to and download. It's not gonna be that one either. My apologies, guys. I think it's probably this top one. So okay, yeah, you would go to this top one, the very first one, and depending on your system and depending on your language, for this instance, my language is English. My computer bit is a 64-bit system, so I would pick the 64-bit. If you have a 32-bit system, you would pick 32-bit. So after doing that, just follow the in-step processes on how to install WinRAR, so that way you can go ahead and be able to unpack all of your game files. So that being said, guys, the next thing you're gonna want to do is come right here to your search bar again, your search engine, whichever you're using, and then type in LSPDFR. Alright guys, once you have gotten to this page here where it says LSPDFR homepage, or lcpdfr.com, go ahead and click that link, and then from there, guys, it's going to bring you to this page right here. This, yet again, this is for first time installers. This isn't for people that are redoing it. If you're redoing it, I will actually show you something for both first time installers and for people redoing the game that makes a so much easier process than having to keep coming into this page and keep downloading and downloading and downloading. It's a pain in the ass, guys, it really is. So what you would do is you would click download LSPDFR 0.4.9, build version 7874. Come right here where it says download this file, guys. Scroll all the way through all of this. You don't have to worry about that. Click the agree and download button, guys. Stay away from the automatic setup. Do not grab this one right here. This is junk. This is garbage. You don't want this. I don't know why they put this on here. You want the manual install. You want this one right here, guys. The manual install zip. So that's the one that you would download. The reason why I'm not going to download it is I'm going to show you over here everything that I have. So once you have downloaded that, guys, let's go ahead and pull this up right here, because like I said, I have mine right here. So what I would recommend you guys to do, let's just close this out really quick, and then I'm gonna move this over so it's not in the way. What I would recommend you guys to do, if you don't have this done or anything like that, is go ahead and I'm gonna drag these over here just so y'all can see all of these folders. These are independent folders. These aren't folders that you get from inside the game or anything like that. I actually created these folders and labeled them myself, so that way I know what all of these folders are and what they contain and what they're all about. I also have a separate one for all my INI files when configuring your INI settings to whatever you want, but this one here we will actually get into at a later portion once we get some this other stuff installed. But I digress. We're just going to be using this one right here mainly just because it has what we need at the moment. But As you can see, guys, right here, actually I'll take y'all back really quick just so y'all can kind of get an understanding of what I'm talking about. So you have a scripts and plugins, right? Excuse me, guys, let's go ahead and drag this so you can see this. So here is my scripts and plugins folder right here. And as you can see right here, we have a scripts and plugins. Everything that I use from the scripts and plugins right in here, guys, I have literally right there inside of my folder labeled scripts and plugins. Now, for your call outs and things like that, yet again, you get those from the scripts and plugins folder. All of my call outs that I use are right here in this folder. We'll be showing y'all all that stuff here in a little bit. All of my graphics mods that I use for my games gonna be right there, guys. All of the cars that I use, and the graphics mods you can find here or at grandtheftauto5.com, which we'll be showing you that here in a second, how to get all of that. That is going to be where my graphics mods go. Then of course I have all of my cars, which again you get right there, vehicle mods right here inside Grand Theft Auto's main game directory, basically for Grand Theft Auto for LSPDFR. But here is what you're going to need, guys. So we have the LSPDFR 0.4.97874 is the build manual install folder. So once you have actually downloaded this folder, this is what it should look like for yours with the WinRAR downloaded, guys. What you're going to do, we can actually, I'm not going to close it, we'll just minimize it. Let's highlight all of these files, guys, everything inside of that folder. You want to highlight all of that, and then with your left control key, guys, just deselect the dots, deselect the license, and then deselect the Rage plugin hook readme. Once you have those deselected, guys, this is going to be a really simple process. It's super simple, guys. Everything that's highlighted in the blue is everything that we're going to be moving from here into your main game directory. So what you want to do is left click, grab it, and then you're going to want to put it right over here into this zone where you're not highlighting anything, you're not hovering over anything in this section, you're way over here in this little safe area, the safe zone, and then just drop. Now you'll see it's going to move everything over. It takes a little bit because it is some big files, guys. It's a lot of files, so let it do its thing. It's okay if that looks like it's highlighted in blue. Your stuff's not going to be dropped in there, but you will be getting some extra stuff in here, not only in your into your main game directory, that you will see that everything that we moved from here is going to be highlighted in blue here. Like I said, guys, it's a pretty big amount of files, so it does take a little bit. It may go faster for you if you're using a SSD. Like I said, I'm using a external hard drive, so it may move a little bit slower for me. So now you can see we have a plugins folder, we have an LSPDFR folder, as well as some other folders in here, as well as now we have a Rage plugin hook. So what you can do is you can go ahead and click into your plugins folder, and now you have LSPDFR first response already ready to go inside of your game. And then of course we have an LSPDFR folder, which, like I told you earlier, I have a INI files folder with all of my INIs. So as you can see right here, it says keys. Right there, I have the same one that says keys. So if I were to click on this one, guys, this is the vanilla version of the game. This is, nothing's been manipulated. This is just strictly how the game is set up. Now I can go into mine, and if y'all want, y'all can definitely pause the video at this point, guys, and you can take a look at how I have mine set up. It's a lot different from how this one is set up. It's all personal preference, guys, but we will go over all of this just in case y'all want to use the same setup that I'm using. I use a controller Not so much really the keyboard and mouse, but I do use keyboard and mouse for certain functions. That's why some things are there and some things aren't, but I do use keyboard and mouse. All right, next step, guys, we're gonna go back into the main game directory here. So you've already got this installed, so we don't need the LSPDFR manual install anymore. You can go ahead and close that out. But like I said, what I would recommend you guys do is definitely, like I said, create yourself a folder and just go ahead and all of your stuff that you have in your downloads, guys. So let's kind of do it like this so I can show y'all. So it would be in your download section, guys, where you would have your LSPDFR manual install. Just take it and put it inside of that folder. Just all the stuff that we're going to show y'all, y'all can go ahead and put these in your folders. And I will show y'all again. So we have the script hook V. We have the script hook v.net. We have our Rage plugin hook. We have our LSPDFR manual install. And then these three right here are mainly used for adding on DLC card packs, but we're not going to show y'all this. This is a little bit more advanced stuff. We're just going to show you how to get the basic game installed. We will be covering all of this in another video, maybe either later today, maybe at another date. Not really for sure yet how we're going to do it, but we will be showing and covering everything, guys. Just bear with me. I was actually helping a guy earlier this morning, and I told him that I was going to be doing a how to install video because he was having some problems, and a problem that unfortunately I'd never seen before. So this goes out to you, my guy. I can't remember what your name was, but this video is for you, homie. All right. So at this point, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to come back up into our web browser, provided that you didn't close it out, you just minimized it. You're going to come into a new new browser, go to gta5mods.com. What you're going to want to look for is Simple Trainer. You can go ahead and just type in Simple Trainer for GTA 5, and it should automatically bring this up as your first search. This is what it's going to look like when you find it. Simple Trainer for GTA 5 13.6. This is a awesome trainer to use right here, guys. This is everything right here. It's amazing. I wouldn't recommend any other trainer but this one right here. I've tried other ones, and this one right here is by far the best that I have come across for this game. So what you're going to want to do, guys, is scroll down to where you see the 13.6 and it says current right there. And you can already see the amount of downloads that this has gotten. Quite a lot, guys, quite a lot. So go ahead and go to this right here where it's got the little arrow down and it looks like a little computer or a little console looking icon, and you would click on that, guys, and then you would click the download. And then once you do that, guys, what it's going to do is it's going to bring up where is it at? It's not in this one, sorry guys. I have it in one of these folders, I just can't remember which one it's in. It's going to bring up this little icon. It's going to bring up this right here. Now when you're in here, guys, what you're going to want to grab, it has all these other files to it, but only 2 files out of this whole folder that you need. Yet again, just take this folder and put it into your scripts and plugins folder, provided you created yourself a scripts and plugin folder. Trust me, guys, it's very helpful. If these things mess up with these games, they mess up quite a bit when you mod them out. You won't have to go back and research and try to re-download. It'll already be in a folder on your desktop. Simple, easy, tucked away. All right, let's get with it. So you're going to left control and you're going to click the ASI and then the .ini. Deselect the folder on top. So all you want is these 2. What you're going to do, guys, is you're going to take those, simply drag, drop. Now those are installed into the game. Come right up here to your little refresh icon and go ahead and click refresh. Just make sure everything, it's basically prioritizing and alphabetizing everything the way it needs to be. Take that, like I said, you can take that and basically drag it and drop it into your scripts folder. I already have mine there, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so now our next step, guys, you would take your Rage plugin hook. You can take that if you want, and then just go ahead and drag it right down here to your little taskbar, and you can go ahead and plug it right there into your taskbar. I'm not going to do it because this is for my my current copy. I don't want to like overlap it, and then it's going to cancel it out, and it's just a little bit of a mess. So I'm just going to use my Rage plugin hook for the new copy right there. But before we get into that one, guys, we're going to go back into our web browser. We don't need that anymore. So you're going to type in Rage plugin hook. It's going to bring you to this little page right here, guys. Once you're in this page on your search engine, just go ahead and click that link right there, guys. The very first one, very top one. And then go to download now. Now from here, guys, you're going to want to grab Grand Theft Auto 5 Legacy Edition, or Legacy. You're going to want to grab the very top one. It's the only one that's going to allow you to get. It's not going to let you get any other version. Those are no longer available. So you would go ahead and you would download that right there. Now once you've downloaded that, guys, oops, sorry. Once you've downloaded that, guys, it's going to be here. It's going to look something like this. It's going to be the same process that we did before with the other big file that we had for just the basic Grand Theft Auto 5. You're just going to highlight the very bottom and grab all of those files, right? And then you're going to deselect the top one. You're going to deselect the SDK. You're going to deselect the license, and then you're going to deselect the Rage plugin hook readme. So everything else you want highlighted. Now that we have everything highlighted that we need, like I said, provided that you don't have the Rage plugin hook readme, you don't have the license, and you don't have the SDK or the dots. Same thing, guys. Left click, grab, drag, and drop. It's going to ask you to replace the files in the destination. It's going to say that there's 14 files with the same names. Just go ahead and replace the guys. It's really easy. Same thing with this, guys. Just take your Rage plugin hook. You don't have to delete it, so that way if something happens, you don't have to re-go back on there. You can just go ahead and have this one and up until they get the newest or latest version, and then you can just take the latest version and delete this one and then put that one into your extra files folder. I'm telling you guys, these extra file folders right here, they save you a ton of bullshit that you don't want to go through re-downloading all of this crap. I'm telling you, trust me, it's a pain in the ass, and it will save you hours of aggravation. Okay, so now that we have that installed, let me see what the next thing I believe we need to install. Let's just take a look really quick, guys. Yes. So we're going to come back into our web browser, guys. We don't need this one anymore. You need script hook V. So you're going to go into this, you're going to type in script hook V. It's going to pull up script hook V AB software development. Go ahead and click that. Come down to where it says download, guys. Don't download SDK. Just go where it says download, and then next to it says download. Click the download button. It's going to download, open. It's going to look just like that. And I will show y'all guys, I have the same right here. It's the same thing. Like I said, all my files are right there, guys. You can take the bins folder and you can drag it and you can put it onto your desktop, but it's not really necessary, but you can do it if you want. It just makes it easier to work with for some people. It's all up to you how you want to do it, but we're going to go ahead and just open it up. Now it has a script hook v.dlo. It has a native trainer. We don't need native trainer because we installed simple trainer. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that one out. Let's just minimize that for now. Actually, we can close that one out. Sorry guys, we can actually close this out because we're not going to need anything else from here right now. So the only two files that you need from here is that one and that one. Go ahead and deselect the top folder. So you just need the dinput8.dll and the script hook v.dll. You don't need native trainer. Take those two folders, drag and drop. Now those two are in there. Go ahead and refresh the directory, guys. Very simple. Like I said, since mine's already in my folder, I don't have to worry about it, but you would basically just take it and put it into your extra files folder, or whatever you want to label it, whatever you want to call it. It's all up to you. Just as long as you know where all of your stuff is, that's all you need to do. So this next step, we're gonna go ahead and launch the Rage plugin hook, and from there it should bring us into another window, guys. It's gonna be the first time install window, saying that it's setting it up for the first time. If you click exit, I mean, I don't know why you would click exit. I mean, that's completely and totally up to you. You just wasted your whole time, but go ahead and click on accept, guys. And it's going to make the first time backup. It's going to tell you that it wants you to back up the game version just in case anything happens, that everything is backed up. Click yes. It'll create the backup right here, guys. It's going to store your backup. And now it's going to load up the Rage plugin hook setup screen. So your plugins timeout threshold, which plugins is exactly how you work and run everything in Grand Theft Auto 5 LSPDFR. Without Rage plugin hook, you can't do any of this. So it's going to be set to 10,000. Just minimize or delete that one and put the value at 20,000 for right now, guys. You can we'll jump it up to 60,000, but for right now 20,000 is gonna work just fine. So you're gonna come over here to plugins. The only thing you're gonna have inside of here is gonna be LSPD first response. Click the very bottom little icon where it says load these plugins on startup, and go ahead and check mark the LSPD first response. Click on that middle one where it says load all plugins on startup. You don't have to mess with anything right in here. Don't mess with anything in there, guys. Very important right here, guys. You can back up your game files if you want. Whenever we initialized this first one, it already made a backup. What that does is, so whenever they re-update Rage plugin hook and all that, because this one's not going to last forever, it'll allow you to play this version while they're working on the next updated version. And that's basically right here. You can delete it. I would recommend that you don't delete it. It shows that it's active and it shows it's supported. You're good to go with this version of the game right here. So right here under command line switches, if you're running DirectX 11, you would click DirectX 11. If you have 10.1, you would select 10.1. If you have DirectX 10, you would use DirectX 10. Very important, guys, if you're running a more advanced graphics card and you have DirectX 12, don't tick any of these windows off, as it's not going to do you any good. This is just for people that have DirectX 11, 10.1, or 10. If you're running 12, you don't worry about those. Next, I do this just because it's easier for me. I make it to where it forces full screen mode. It's just personal preference, however you want to do it. If you want to leave that alone, you can leave that alone. It's totally up to you. And then this one should be automatically ticked off. If it's not, guys, just go ahead and click that one where it says ignore different video card, and then that's all you're gonna do from here. If anybody said, sorry guys, I just woke up a little bit ago actually. And then we're gonna launch or save and launch. And from this point, guys, I will see y'all in the game, and then we will show you how you set up your simple trainer. We will show you how to set up your character for the first time, and then that'll probably be the end of the first video, and then we'll get that one uploaded, and then we will start working possibly on the second one that'll show how to put in scripts and plugins, and then we'll work on callouts as well as graphic mods, and then we'll get down to putting in cars with our OpenIV. But first things first, let's go ahead, save and launch. This right here, guys, it's just going to tell you if you hold down the left shift key for about, I want to say it's like 2 seconds, it'll bring up that whole window that we were just in, instead of having to click the little cog button on the side when it loads up the Rage plugin hook. So instead of having to click that button there, you just hold down the left shift key and it launches you in the game. But I'll see you guys in the game. Alright guys, now that we're in the game, provided that everything worked good for you, you should load in as Franklin. And if you load it in as Franklin and everything is the way it should be on your mini-map, you should see these little icons right here. It's got little police badges. What these police badges are, guys, they are going to be the police stations that you can go to start your LSPDFR career. And in any one of these areas, it's basically like different sections or sectors, if you will, for police stations that you can go to. So before we get into any of that craziness, I want to show you guys how to let's just go ahead and go over here where it says LSPDFR, because otherwise it's going to keep having the phone call conversation thing going on, and we don't really want that. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to initialize our first police character. So for you first time guys, this is how you create your character, where it says character and then it's going to say go to nearest police station. Go ahead and click on that to where it's going to transport you or teleport you to the most it's going to transport you to the closest police station. Sorry guys, like I said, I'm still trying to wake up. So from here, like I said, it's going to end up calling again. That's why I'm not trying to really run or anything. All right, so from here, guys, we'll just jump up over this because we don't want to walk all the way around. You're gonna go to the front of the police station, guys, and then stop calling Simeon. And then from here, it's gonna tell you to enter into the police station. Controllers is gonna be right on the D-pad. For keyboard and mouse users, it's going to be the E key. So we're just gonna let him finish this call, because otherwise it's gonna kick us out of the police station, and we don't want that. Now right there where it says go on duty, guys, we're gonna go ahead and click yes to go on duty for the first time, and then it's gonna tell us that we need to select a character used in LSPDFR. Go ahead and click yes or okay. And in this section right here, guys, it's totally up to you how you want to set up your character. If you want to set up a male character, female character, your heritage, this is your parents. So you don't have to do the same ones that I do. It's whatever you want to do for you. It's totally up to you guys. Like I said, I've done this so many times, so I already know how my character wants to get, how I set up my character. Now from here, it'll usually say custom, guys. I always just go to standard on everything. It's totally up to you, however you want to set that up. You know, don't let me judge you on how you set your character up. That's totally up to you. Of course. And now you can add all kind of different stuff to your character if you want. Like I said, it's totally up to you however you want to set that up, guys. All right, so now that you've got that set up, this is where you're gonna input your character's name. It doesn't really matter what name you want to put. If you want to use your real name, go right ahead. If you want to use a fake name, that's fine by you. I mean, it's whatever you want to do, guys. It's totally your character. It's all you. So don't let nobody judge you or tell you that you have to do something, you know, just because they did it that way. You don't have to. It's 100% your game, your character, whatever you want to do. So now that you have your character created, guys, you want to select use that character, or you can use preset characters. It's 100% up to you guys. Like I said, it's your game. Do with it what you want. We're just gonna get you set up so you can use your stuff. Go into the police locker, guys, and then under outfit, it probably won't say LSPD, but if it does, just go ahead under here where it says current, and then just switch over to where now you're in the police uniform. And go down. You can do different features and stuff like that. Play around with it, guys, see what you like. But you know, like I said, later on we'll show you how to get some better, cooler stuff in there. This is just getting your game working for the first time. So we're gonna go ahead and just select a random car, just so that way we can at least get out into the real world. So in here, guys, once we install the emergency lighting system, you can turn this off, and then you can use ELS on these cars. But we're gonna go further in another video and show you actually how to install custom cars and all that. So we're just gonna leave it the way it is, guys. Alright, so from here, guys, you can go ahead and exit out of your car. Take a good look at your character, because you know that's your character. You just made that badass right there. That's your cop. That's your guy. That's your dude. That's whatever you want to use. So from here, guys, to open up your simple trainer, you're gonna hit the F3 key, guys. F3 is gonna pull up simple trainer. Now you have options, vehicle options, bodyguard and pet spawning, vehicle spawning, mission help, model spawning, object spawning, teleporting save, time, weapons, and weather. We're gonna go ahead and go into the options, and then, guys, what you're gonna want to enable, well, as soon as that gets off the screen, thank you. Let's scroll down. You're gonna want to go ahead and enable infinite stamina. This will make it so where your character never runs out of stamina. Bad guys, people will not be able to outrun you. Like, it is amazing to be able to, you know, use that feature, and they cannot get away from you. Trust me, it's really helpful, really worth it. So then you're gonna click select go over to the next menu. This, guys, just helps you to be able to, if you like it the way it is with the default white and the default blue, keep it that way. But I'm going to change mine, guys.
Report A503 in Puerto del Sol.
Like I said, you can change it to whatever you want. It's 100% up to you. It's your game. Do with it what you want. Don't let me tell you you have to do it the same way I do it. I just found that this way does make it a lot easier for me. From my perspective, it makes it easier. So, like I said, don't let me judge you and tell you, oh, you gotta do it this way. Could have went the other way, but it was pulling up some weird menu. As soon as we find the color we want, then we can get started. Actually, I think it was right there, guys. I'm sorry. I think I passed it up. Let's see. It's gonna keep it like that. Sorry guys, it should not take this long. And just it was pulling up a menu. I didn't want it to pull up.
Citizens reporting a 211 at Strawberry 24/7 Market. Respond code 3.
We weren't trying to take that call. Sorry guys. Wasn't trying to do that at all. Oh, where's it at? Alright guys, there we go. Oops, hit my mic there. So once you have your colors enabled the way you want it set up, guys, you can go ahead and back out, and then of course it's gonna bring up this stupid menu. Sorry guys, it's bringing up a menu. I'm not trying to have it bring that menu up. The next one we're gonna want to go to, guys, because otherwise I think it's gonna keep bringing up that stupid menu. Sorry guys, shouldn't have taken that call. Damn it. So go to weapons, guys. Sorry, I gotta wait for this thing to be done, otherwise it's gonna keep trying to. Alright, so you're gonna want to click remove all weapons, guys, and then go ahead and select infinite ammo. And then go ahead and enable your nightstick. So go ahead and add the nightstick. Go ahead and add your flashlight, and you can do this with the number pad, guys. 2 goes down, 8 goes up, 4 goes left, 6 goes right, 5 is like your inner key. So once you got your flashlight, guys, go down to your pistol and add the pistol. And then depending on if you want the combat pistol, use the combat pistol. If you want the 50 cal, use the 50 cal. Heavy pistol, so on and so forth. I like the combat pistol, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the combat pistol. And then don't forget to add the stun gun. Then go over, guys, add your shotgun, pump shotgun preferably, and then come down to the carbine rifle and add your carbine rifle. And then from there, guys, we can go ahead and back out of that just one time. Go back into the, or you could have just scrolled over. I'm sorry, you didn't really have to back all the way out. I apologize. Go all the way back up to where it shows weapon attachment intent menu. And then whatever the last weapon that you have is it's going to show that one. So now you want to go over to where it shows flashlight at the top there, and then just go ahead and hit the number 5 key. So now your flashlight has been added to your current weapon. Not sure which button it is for the keyboard, but for the controller users, it is right on the D-pad, and that activates your flashlight. So now bring up your weapon wheel, guys, to where you got your pistol. It says no attachments. Scroll over to where you get the attachment for the flashlight, and hit number 5 on the D-pad, or on your number pad. Same thing, guys. Now you have a flashlight enabled on your pistol. Bring up your weapon wheel again, whichever your secondary pistol that you equipped was. Same thing, just click over to where you get the flashlight, hit F5. It's going to add the flashlight to that weapon. And then go to your last but not least, grab the shotgun. And if it's not already selected for the flashlight, go ahead and select your flashlight, guys, and hit F5, or not F5, hit the number 5 key. I'm sorry, not F5. So now that you have your flashlight for that one. Alright, guys, so from there, go down to where it says weapons load / save menu. Save all weapons to load slot, or save all weapons to slot 1. Now that they're saved into that one, when you come into the game, every time you come into the game, just click your F3 key, and then you'll just go to load all weapons to slot 1, and then all of your weapons will be right there, guys. Simple as that. Like I said, it's an awesome feature, guys. Really awesome. Alright, I want to say that's about it for this segment. Unless it might be later on when we install the stop the pet and things like that. Yeah, okay. So from at this point, like I said, if you like the way the game is, you can go ahead and just start cruising around. You can pull people over, you can start interacting with people. But that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this first portion of how to install LSPDFR into your main game. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one finalized up so we can go ahead and get this onto the channel, guys. And then in our next video, we will show you how to install ELS and some of the other plugins and scripts that we use in our game. And then we will go from there. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, you found it useful, you found it helpful, you find that you're able to now get into your game and everything works for you guys, please smash that thumbs up button. Feel free to leave me any comments down in the section comment section below. Greatly appreciate it. It helps me out to figure out if I need to do something different or if I can explain something better or just anything like that, guys. Just let me know down in the comment section below. But alright, guys, if you're not subscribed too, definitely hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for awesome, amazing LSPDFR content. Alright, guys. Peace.